Welcome once again to the Old Cow Report. Of course, I'm your host, Chuck Lee. Tonight we have another wonderful show, and boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Of course, we're coming to you live from the beautiful, the old tire factory down here in the middle of Eau Claire, in one of those special districts that they set up to rescue these failing areas of a city and make them prosper and grow, and of course, we're in one of them. And this one here is, it doubles as many things. And of course, you know, on the first floor we have the slaughterhouse where the cows come in and they slaughter them, and they bring them in on box cars along the river. First of all, they come up off the barges, off the river barges, and then they put them in the box cars and they bring them into the back door there, and then they slaughter them. There's thousands of cows slaughtered here every day, and that's why we call it the Cow Report, because we'd like to tell you how many cows were slaughtered in Eau Claire today, and that way you can get an idea of the price of beef, because Eau Claire is the center of the beef market, and all the hamburger stuff is priced from what happens right here at the Old Cow Report, and then as you get out further miles out, and then to thousands of miles out, the price of beef costs more. So aren't you glad that you live here in Eau Claire, where the price of beef is really the cheapest in the United States?
I don't know.
I am.
No.
Well, you know, there's been a lot going on, and since this is a live program, we have to tell you about it. And of course, you know that Saddam Hussein out there, he claimed today that he was going to blow up or knock down our U-2 planes if we flew over his territory. But he forgot to tell his people and the rest of the world that he didn't have any missiles that could reach our planes because they're so high. So it was another one of his bluffs. But you can't take the guy lightly, because he does have suitcases full of poison, nerve gases and other kinds of poison that he could easily smuggle into this country and cause some major damage, and I'm sure he would go into the major population areas around the country and do his damage. But other than that, it's beautiful and it's great to be alive. Isn't it wonderful to be here in Wisconsin and to be alive, the state of cheese and beer, and the Green Bay Packers, and the Minnesota Vikings, and the new American League, Milwaukee Brewers. It's great to be alive and to be in Wisconsin.
He's not with them anymore.
All right, we're going to have to let Roy handle that phonage from out there. We will be taking your calls, and the old number is 839-6261. Of course, we better tell you what the email address is there for the homepage, and that homepage is getting many, many thousands of hits every day. And that number is http://members.tripod.com, tilde or squiggle up on the left-hand side of your keyboard, Flavin, and that's about all you have to do. You don't have to put the index on there. You just get that. And, of course, the email address is on there, and the homepage has been modernized here the last few days, and so it's everything you would need there as far as search engines and hard-to-find places, and a lot of great links are on there. So we are going to tell you, here's the Ho Chunk Nation. Of course, they didn't give us $100,000 to run this show, or they didn't give us $2 million not to open a casino here at the old tire factory. We chose to have a cow slaughterhouse here instead of having a casino. We felt that in the long run, people would be able to buy more beef instead of gambling. And so we voted against having the Ho Chunk Nation come in here and set up a casino. We set up a slaughterhouse, and of course, my guest tonight, Fred the True Stafford, has been the manager down at the slaughterhouse for many, many years. And before that, when he was in Vietnam, he discovered that you could make rubber out of these trees that are over there in Vietnam. And Fred Stafford discovered rubber. So what he did was, he put all these rubber trees on transports. And he flew them into Eau Claire and put those trees on the roof of the old tire factory here, 10,000 of them, and started growing rubber trees up here. And then, of course, after that, then they would take the rubber from off the roof, and they would run it from pipes at the top of the roof. He'd run it into the tire factory, and they would take this liquid rubber and they would put it in the molds, and they would start making tires. And of course, from that all started Uniroyal. And that all started with Fred over in the jungles of Vietnam.
Not me at all. I wasn't in Vietnam.
When he discovered the rubber tree, and I'll tell you, it was one of the greatest discoveries in the world. And I mean, how could you drive around without tires? So just think about that. Every time you drive around or anything that's made of rubber, it all goes to Fred.
I didn't do it.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have tires. And of course, that lasted for 20, 30, 40 years, and then the tire factory, and then, well, the demand for rubber kind of fell apart, and nobody bought tires anymore, so they closed down the tire factory, and they came to Fred again, and they said, Fred, what can we do with this old factory here? It's about 6, 7 square blocks of buildings. What can we do with it? Fred said, we'll start a slaughterhouse. We got the river right there. We can ship the cows in on the river, put them in the box cars, run them right in the back door of the tire factory here, and we can put those people back to work that used to make tires, and then we can turn this into a slaughterhouse. Well, so that's where we're at to this day. And you can still buy fresh ground beef here. Once a day, the shop is open downstairs, and Fred is running that there, and you can have fresh ground beef. And of course, if we could get a picture back, that would be lovely too. All right, and then after that, if you want to come down here for a tour, Fred has a tour every half hour.
I don't.
8:30, 9, 9:30, all the way up till 10:30 at night, from 8:30 in the morning to 10:30 at night.
Don't do
Fred
that.
does 30-minute tours of the Cow Report International Studios.
Yeah.
So if you want to come
If you want to come down here for that,
Fred.
you're wasting your time.
See Fred for the tours of the International Studios. It takes about 30 minutes to see all the intricate parts of the studios and to meet Roy Rogers Hoff. He's down here too, and he gives guided tours of the inner workings of the video department and of all the nanotechnology and the pyrotechnics. That's Roy's area, so Fred will take you through that. And then of course, we have the NASA display down there. And with what's his name? What's that guy's name, Fred, there with the NASA display there? What is his name? That guy standing right there.
Norbert.
Norbert Wilson will show you the NASA display. That's about 7 minutes. So all those things together, it's a beautiful tour. It takes about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
so just see Fred if you want to sign up for that. All right. Well, we had a call there that they were waving us on from the International Studio telephone bank, and of course we have 20 phones there on the phone bank. If you'd like to call in, we'll take those calls for you. All right. Well, there's a lot to talk about again tonight. So boy, oh boy, we better get started.
Yes.
And here's the first one, Freddie boy. You'll like this one. A woman in Chicago has been awarded $10.6 million in a settlement with a psychiatric hospital, claiming the doctors brainwashed her into believing that she was a satanic high priestess. And so a woman in Chicago was awarded $10 million, Fred, because she claims these doctors brainwashed her into believing that. Now, what do you think about that, Fred? You lived in Chicago for many years. Does that kind of thing happen in Chicago or not?
I don't know.
All right. Okay, well, Fred's sporting a brand new pair of choppers there. How are they feeling tonight? Okay, and you'll see that smile when you come down for the tour. And it's only about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So don't forget to come on down. All right. Okay, and of course, the show tonight is brought to you by the folks from Flavin, the fine folks at Flavin, and of course they make Flavin Pop, and of course Flavin Pop is the thinking man's drink. So don't forget to buy Flavin Pop, and there's only one place in the world you can buy it, and where is that, Fred?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think there's any place you can buy it.
Okay, and then of course we also have a new product that we rolled out a couple of weeks ago. And that's Flavin's pre-chewed frozen food. And of course, that's for people that are on the go and too busy to stop and to eat. This is Flavin's pre-chewed frozen food for people too busy to eat. All you have to do is put this in the microwave. I'll show you what this one looks like. We still have a frozen one in here. So we took this right out of the old Cow Report freezer. Of course, this is what one of the delicious meals look like. And you just pop this in the microwave, and about 12 minutes later you pull it out, and all you do is swallow it. You don't even have to chew it. This is for people that are too busy to eat. And of course this one has in it French fries, a banana, a hamburger with pickle mustard and lettuce on it, and then it has some cold cuts in the background with some other fresh tomatoes and more bananas. So it's a nutritious meal, and there it is, all in one meal. All you do is cook it in the microwave, and just swallow it. You don't have to chew it because it's for people that are too busy to stop and eat. So you just pop it in the microwave and just swallow it. And of course, this comes from our factory. Now, we've always tried to have America first with our employment. We've always tried to hire Americans first, Fred, but we found that Americans were not willing to sit there and chew this food up and then spit it back into these plates for us. We tried our darndest, Fred, to hire people for $6 an hour that are willing to sit there and chew food all day and spit it into these trays, and then so we could flash freeze it and then send it out to our distributors around the country. So we had to go to Haiti, Fred. We found that we can hire people down in Haiti for 12 cents an hour that are willing to chew this food because they get a little bit of the nutrition from the food without swallowing it. And so they're willing to chew that for 12 cents an hour. And so we guarantee you that this food has been pre-chewed and then clinically put into these trays and hygienically frozen for your eating pleasure here in the United States by those fine workers down in Haiti.
Yes.
So you want to give them applause and a well-deserved hand there for their hard work down in Haiti, Fred. Of course, we have our newest product, Fred. You haven't even seen this one. This one just came off the shelves. I don't know if Roy's going to be able to get a close-up of that or not. It's probably, but this is a brand new toothpaste that just rolled out today, Monday morning, Fred. Of course, it hit the New York studios first. But there it is, Flavin's Barbecue Chicken Flavored Toothpaste. And boy, is that good, Fred. Have you ever drove by Kentucky Fried Chicken and you've been just starving for some of that barbecue chicken there? Well, now you can have that flavor every morning, Fred. When you brush your teeth, you can get that fresh barbecue chicken flavored taste. And here's what the tube looks like. And Roy will probably get us a close-up of that again. And if he can bring that in, he'll bring a close-up of that in, and we'll show you that this is real toothpaste. And of course, there's only one place in the world you can get that, Fred. There it is, Flavin's Barbecue Chicken Flavored Toothpaste. There you have it. Of course, I'll even show you there. We'll squeeze a little bit out there. Yeah, we'll get some. There it is, coming out. See right there? I'll put some. Boy.
That looks like crust.
No. Flavin's Barbecue Chicken Flavored Toothpaste. Boy, is that good. Yum, 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 yum. And so every morning when you brush now, you'll have that fresh taste of barbecue chicken on your breath when you go to work. And people are going to say, boy, your breath smells like barbecued chicken this morning. They're just going to give you compliments all over. And that's why Flavin's came up with this flavor.
Yeah.
Because there were so many requests for a toothpaste that had food flavors to it. And so this is the first one to roll off. And if this one is successful, they're going to go into a lot of different ones. They're going to go into the flavor of a Big Mac. And of course of Hardee's chicken sandwich. They're going to go into all these different areas. Of course, this one tastes like Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they'll have to go into some of the other chicken places. But they're negotiating right now with Mike's Smokehouse down there for some of his specialties to mix that in with the toothpaste flavor. So Flavin is constantly working in their research and development department. And if it wasn't for Fred, they're in the jungles of Papua New Guinea and Vietnam back in the 30s, discovering rubber trees, we would have never got to this point to where Flavin's can offer you this toothpaste.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you very much for all your hard work there. Roy, did we have that caller or not? Okay, we're going to try and take this call. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Doug, how's it going?
All right.
Well, I was just wondering if Fred's doing all right. He's coughing there a little bit.
Yes. I'm all right.
Well, he just got back from Water Street. He was down around the bars in American Legion.
That's the American Legion.
Down there on Water Street.
Fred, you're down there getting plastered, getting some hussy, huh? Oh, you were getting some, weren't you?
No.
No? All right. Well, hey, that stuff you're holding up, that food, I'm sorry, that was moldy and shit. That didn't look good at all.
This here stuff is flash frozen right after it's chewed by those fine Haitian workers down there right along the border with the Dominican Republic. And these people work many, many hours a day at 15 cents an hour to chew this food so that it can get to your freezer shelves right here in all the local stores. Flavin's pre-chewed frozen food for those too busy to eat.
It looks nasty, though.
Well, I'll show you again. It's still frozen here. It's just frozen as hard as a rock. And there it is. And what's in? Well, you ask, what's in there? Well, I'll tell you. There's French fries. There's a Big Mac in there. There's a banana, some tomatoes, some fresh cold cuts, and all of that has been pre-chewed.
Is that green shit mold or what?
By our hygienic workers down there in Haiti. And then this is hygienically flash frozen and sent right up to our freezer shelves right here. And of course you can get this in all the stores. You can get this in all the stores, and of course this is only $19.95 for each meal. Now that's for people that are too busy to eat. So don't forget to go down to the store and get that. All right there, Freddie boy. So, what do you got there for your first discussion today? What did you read today in the newspaper that tripped your trigger?
I didn't really read a whole lot.
Have you read anything in the
I
last?
didn't get the paper today. They didn't deliver it.
They didn't.
No.
Did you pay for it? Pay your bill?
Yeah, I sent it in, and that was one of the checks you
Roy,
made
can you
out.
get a close up of them pearlies? I tell you, them things make Fred look 20 years younger.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that you're finally starting to wear them there, Freddie. Okay, let's see what else we got here.
You made a check out for the Leader Telegram, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, we should have gotten.
Okay, smile,
paper
Fred. You're on candid camera.
Yes.
There you go. Them things cost Fred thousands of dollars. There, don't move now, Fred.
Yes.
Okay, it'll focus in there eventually. There it is. Fred, the true Stafford. Go, Pack, go. All right, those teeth look pretty good, Fred. Glad to see you got that. Okay, there's some new statistics out that says stats bode well for W-2 transition. Number of families on welfare drops by 9% in 1 month right here in Wisconsin. So the W-2 transition is working, and that came out Saturday, November 8th, Leader Telegram. Madison, state's welfare rolls dropped by nearly 9% from August to September, the largest 1 month decline ever, the State Department of Workforce Development said Friday. The transition from AFDC to W-2 has been remarkably orderly, considering the comprehensiveness of the program and the scope of the challenges, Department Secretary Linda Stewart said in a statement. W-2, or Wisconsin Works, is the welfare replacement program that took effect September 1st. The new program replaced aid to families with dependent children, affecting about 38,000 families in Wisconsin. It requires able-bodied adults to work or get job training in exchange for a check, food stamps, medical assistance, and subsidized child care. Sounds like a pretty good deal. Critics have complained that there are not enough good-paying jobs to support those moving off welfare. Well, evidently those critics haven't seen the want ads in every major city in Wisconsin, including Madison, Eau Claire, Hudson, Racine, Milwaukee. I mean, there's just page after page after page. I mean, the unemployment rate is so low in Madison right now that you can quit a job one day, go to sleep, roll out of bed, and go get another job paying more the next day without even blinking an eye. I mean, It's down to about 1.5% unemployment down there. So these critics are all wet. These are the same socialists that got us into this fix to begin with and built up this massive monolithic socialist welfare system in the state to begin with. And they want to protect their little ball game there. They want to protect it. They don't want to lose that. They've built that up, and they'll almost fight to the death over protecting that archaic and demeaning and demoting system that has been built up over the last 30 years of these great society socialist programs that started with Kennedy and Johnson. These do-gooders and aging hippies and socialist types want to continue to see that welfare state stay intact. And they just can't stand to hear this good news that 9%, that the state's welfare rolls dropped 9% in just 1 month. That's amazing. So that means in 10 months, there won't be any more people on welfare. Everybody will have full employment, and people will be back working and feeling good about themselves and feeling proud that they have a job, and everything will be hunky-dory again in this state. And we'll ship out the last 12 or 14 communist professors. We'll ship them off to Cuba where they belong. And then we'll liberate the state once and for all. We'll close down all the socialist communist colleges. We'll ship off the handful of communist professors that are still professing their archaic systems that don't work, and we'll liberate the state once and for all. And if they're not willing to be shipped to Cuba, Fred will personally set up the firing squad for them.
I won't.
All right. Okay, W-2, or Wisconsin Works. The department said Friday that 31,476 families were receiving some form of cash assistance in September. That was down from 34,500 in August, a decline of almost 9%. So it's working. Now, since it is working and we're just cutting these rolls right and left and cutting these welfare rolls, and all these people are going back to work, the next question is, now that we're dismantling this welfare state that has been built up over 30 years and protected by the left-wing socialist radicals, protecting their turf there because this money's rolling in and they get a cut off of it by making sure that these people stay on the welfare rolls. Now that that is being dismantled, lock, stock, and barrel, now are we going to start dismantling the other welfare rolls over here, Fred? The people that are the symbiotically related social workers and psychiatrists and all these people. As a matter of fact, in Eau Claire County alone, something like $25 to $30 million is spent on welfare just in this one county. It's the biggest single item in the county budget. It's an embarrassment. But a lot of that now is not going to people on welfare, Fred. It's going to the people that are sitting down there at the courthouse in their little cubicles making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, supposedly helping people get off welfare. Well, now with Welfare Works, with the W-2, people are being forced off welfare whether they like it or not, and they're being forced into the job market where they're getting back their self-respect. Now, when are we going to dismantle the welfare system that was built around the welfare families? When are we going to do that, Fred? I ask you.
I don't know.
All right, there's a good answer. Well, I tell you, if you're calling in, 839-6261, you got to stay on the phone. We'll get to you as soon as we can. We only have 6 lines here, and if you just hang up for a second, you're gone, and then it comes to another call. Hello.
Hello?
You're on the air. Go ahead.
You're kind of a dick, you know that?
What are you, one of them welfare idiots?
No. 4 to 16, 10, 22. No, I have to.
Are you sitting in some little cubicle in the dark with your two-way radio there, or what?
No, I have to deal with you almost every day.
What do you mean you have to deal with me?
Oh, you like to come in and order food, and you always seem to think everybody should know what the hell you want every day. And if we don't know what you want, before you even say it, you just kind of roll your eyes at us. Nobody can read minds.
Huh. I don't know. I think that guy's he's on another channel, Fred.
Yeah.
I've been working so hard lately, I haven't even been able to go order food.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he's probably upset that they forced him off welfare and he's got to work.
Yeah.
He's got to work for $6 an hour, or maybe 8. All right, so welfare is working. W-2 is working, Fred.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the country is looking at it, seeing it's working in this country. You know that the welfare around the country has went up 33%, while it's dropped over 30% in this state. It's went up exactly that same amount in the rest of the country.
People who they found are not working here, they went to other states.
Oh, you mean if they were going to be put to work here, they fled the state, huh?
Yeah.
See, we used to be a magnet. You used to be able to stand out on 90, 94, and you could see the cars coming from Alabama, Texas, Mississippi, Illinois. You could see them just flowing in here. And it was saying things like Eau Claire or bust, or Milwaukee or bust, or Minneapolis or bust. There was people coming in here just flopping down and getting on the welfare rolls. That old gravy train is long gone, folks. If you come to Wisconsin, you're going to have to go to work. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, and I was on the air a minute ago and you hung up.
That's because you're some kind of stupid idiot sitting there in the dark with your two-way radio acting like you know something. All right. Lottery credit back for now. Property owners to get 84 measly bucks, Fred.
Yeah.
All that lottery money, all we're going to get back is 84 bucks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what do you got next, Fred?
Well, you're really not ready to forgive legal action. School official sworn for firing, prayer, rest, meeting.
Yeah? So what does that mean in
Well,
well, you know, Fred, the Leader Telegram tries to write at about an 8th grade education. So for our viewers out here at an 8th grade level, what does that mean to the average 8th grade layman out there?
well, not ready to forgive legal action.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Who isn't?
the community.
All right, well, we're glad to hear that. The community is not ready to forgive legal action.
Right.
Well, we're glad to know that you, the community, are not ready to forgive legal action. Okay. All right, Freddie boy. Here's another one for you I want you to contemplate while we're getting ready to take call number 6 out of 18. If you're in order, you just move up one. And if you come in and call the second time, you drop back to number 19. So, okay, so right now, in other holiday news, the Lions Club in Saybrook, Illinois has apologized for giving first prize in their Halloween costume contest to a girl wearing a Ku Klux Klan robe.
Mm-hmm.
The 14-year-old girl said her costume, which included swastikas and the phrase, "Kill them all," was inspired by a television show about the Holocaust. And next year, she's going as a lampshade. Okay, Fred, I read something else about a guy on Halloween that did something silly. If I can find it here. And it was kind of amazing when I read that. But in the meantime, Roy, who's winning that San Francisco game? All right. Okay there. So then, Fred, now that the community is not ready to forgive legal action, what are they going to do about it?
I don't know. I'm not going to forgive him.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so we studied here that the county panel is going to resuscitate the sales tax plan. You remember this 0.5% sales tax that keeps being brought up every few months, Fred? For the last 10 years, every few months, some idiot on the county board brings it up and he comes in there, or he or she comes in there, and they just beat the living crap out of him, Fred. And it usually gets voted down about 20 to 3 or 19 to 6 or 22 to 1 or whatever. And they just get the living crap knocked out of them, Fred, every time they bring this thing up.
Yes.
But these guys are like drunken sailors. They keep getting up.
Yes.
Just punch them and knock them down, and they get back up.
Right.
Well, here's another drunken sailor, I'll tell you, who's trying to push it this time. County panel resuscitates sales tax plan. Well, first they show us all the great amounts of money and get us all excited about how much taxes we're going to accumulate so that we can start more socialist programs and build more monolithic idiot boxes called county courthouses and whatever, where all the idiots will sit there and you go in there and they're getting $20,000, $30,000 a year and they can't tell you nothing. All they do is shuffle you from one office to another. And so here they want to, they've come up with an idea to get this 0.5% sales tax going. And Bob Brown wrote this article in Saturday, November 8th, Leader Telegram. It says, "Bloodied but unbowed, the 0.5 cent county sales tax rears its battered head again next week." The Eau Claire County Board's Finance and Budget Committee decided Friday to introduce the sales tax proposal yet again during deliberation on the 1998 county budget. Those deliberations begin Tuesday, and a budget is expected to be adopted late Wednesday night. So we're talking about this week, folks. So they got rid of two big money losers. The county nursing home is called the Center of Care, and the county landfill, the dump out there. We dumped those two losers, costing all kinds of hundreds of thousands of dollars of red ink. So by removing those, you would think that we would have a surplus. But no, this county is wanting to spend all that surplus. They've already blown all that. They blew the money that we got from the sale of those two things. And now they're saying we need more money than ever. So go figure. So anyway, not only do they need more money now than they did before they sold the center of care and the landfill, but now they need a 0.5% sales tax on top of that to pay for all these misguided, idiotic programs that they're thinking of down there at the courthouse. The best thing to do is let them meet only once every 5 years. And they can only meet for 2 hours between 3 in the morning and 5 in the morning on a Saturday. And that's the only time they should be able to meet, every 5 years. And they got to come up with that budget in 2 hours, and the budget every 5 years has to be 10% less than the budget 5 years preceding. Now, if we can do that and let them only meet once and only be elected once every 5 years, we can get government under control and get them off of our backs. So anyway, the proposed budget calls for $68.6 million in county spending next year. That is 2.2% higher than the 97 budget. So they whacked off two of these things that were money losers and draining from the taxpayer's pocket, and they said, no, we wiped those things out, we cut the budget, and we saved you all this taxpayers' money. But we forgot to tell you, the budget's going to have to go up 2.2% more than it was before we cut those losing programs. So the proposed tax rate, the rate at which individual property owners are billed, also would increase 2.2% from 4.7 to 4.8 per $1,000 equalized valuation. So now we're getting down to the brass tacks. Donald Ellickson, a member of the Finance and Budget Committee, says, adopting a half-cent county sales tax would significantly reduce the tax levy and provide the board with much-needed breathing room under the state levy limit. So I assume he's one of the pinheads down there that introduced this bill to revive the 0.5% sales tax that gets knocked around and just the living crap kicked out of it every time it comes up for a vote, Fred.
Yes.
And they think somehow they're going to squeeze it through that 25 or 30 members of the county board, and then we're going to accept it. But those county board members know which side their bread is buttered on, and they keep knocking it down. But we have pinheads like this, and this guy's a former professor, go figure, that lived off of the county or the state tax rolls for years as a professor. He comes up with the idea to raise more money by this 0.5% sales tax. But that's what you get from tax and spend liberals. Ain't that right, Roy? Well, Roy says that call number 16 of 18 is ready now. So if you were waiting in line and you're number 7, you'll move up to number 6. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, you think maybe they're going to raise our taxes? You think the mill rate's going to actually go up?
Well, you know, they went around and reassessed all the land in Eau Claire in the city, and I know they also, several of the townships, jacked their assessments way up, some of them 50, 75, 100% assessment increases, and they did that so that they can say, well, we're not going to spend as much. I mean, we're not going to have to levy as much because we've got all this extra value now to our property. But what in essence, in reality, what they're actually doing is they raise the assessment so they can get more money out of you. So in 1997, the budget was $67 million. 1998, it's $68.5 million. So they're not saving it. They're jacking up the budget $1.5 million, and that's after reducing 2 of the programs that were losing big time money, bleeding, hemorrhaging red, hemorrhaging tax dollars. We got rid of those, but they're saying, no, we're a bunch of greedy, no good sons of bitches. We're going to raise your taxes $1.5 million more. Now, what do you think about that?
I don't think that's right. I think the taxes should be going down a little bit each year now.
So do I. Anybody that owns a house and is trying to get by on the American dream, not only have you got to fight the county board, but the city council is sitting over there right tonight, carving up a big hunk of your taxes. They're sitting there seeing how much the taxpayer will bear over there. They're trying to grab another $64 million over there. And then you got the school board down there that's doubled their budget in 10 years, and they're going to carve out another big hunk of it. And then you got the VOTEC, they're cutting out their little share of it, and every one of them gets greedy. They're saying, well, over there in over there in Detroit, Michigan, the school teachers are getting $30,597, and we're only getting $30,400, and so we got to have as much as them. And then the city council people come up, and the police and the firemen say, well, down there in Biloxi, Mississippi, they're getting $36,000, we're only getting 34, so we want 36, and it just never ends.
On that lottery credit?
Yeah.
What's that all going to actually go to now? I know previously it just went to homeowners who lived within the state, and it didn't go to like a business owner or anybody else. It was just an actual homeowner. Now, is that going to go to everybody this time?
Well, there's a guy named Jeffrey Castle. He's an attorney. He challenged the old credit system where we got a pretty nice sum back on behalf of the Wisconsin Out-of-State Landowners Association. So these are all these people from Chicago that come up here and violate our wilderness and trash it and throw their beer cans everywhere, come up for the weekend and just trash our lakes, fish out our lakes, hunt our deer, and chase our women around and molest them, and then they go back down to Chicago. Well, they want part of this tax cut. So this Wisconsin Out-of-State Landowners Association is forcing, they've muscled their way in, so they get a cut now. That's why it went down from average of what, $200 down to 84.
So it's going to be out of, but they're going to get most of the cake.
Yeah, because we got all these invading Huns from Chicago and St. Louis that come up here and spend a couple weekends a year, and they own a cabin up here. They throw their money around a little bit and fish out our lakes and pack them in ice and ship all of our fish out of state. Come up here and steal all of our deer. Come up here and bother our women on Saturday nights in the bars. Then Monday morning they're gone back to Chicago working in the high-rise, in the skyscrapers down there.
Now, is it true that Mrs. Dole and Mrs. Clinton are going to be running against each other for the next election?
Well, that could very well be. If it does, we can have a rerun again. We'll have Hillary Clinton for 8 years.
How would Bill be then? Would he be the first lady?
Fred, what do you think about all that?
I don't like it.
Which part?
I don't like Hillary running for anything.
Why not? It's a free country.
I know it's a free country, but I don't like what her husband has been doing in Washington over the past 8 years and even before that.
Well, if that's what they're settling on, they're saying that only women can win in the year 2000, coming down to Hillary Clinton or Elizabeth Dole. Guess that's it. We had Margaret Thatcher over there in England for, what, 10, 12, 14 years. She ran England all right. We had Golda Meir in Israel for several years, and she ran that country all right. So if they can actually win. But I think there's a guy sitting down there in Texas that's going to have something to say about that, and his name is George W. Bush, the governor of Texas. I think he's going to have something to say about that in about 3 years. November of the year 2000. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility.
And there's another guy named Dan Quayle that's been campaigning pretty heavily. I think it's going to boil down to Bush against Quayle.
Yeah?
And Elizabeth Dole might come in as a running mate as a vice presidential. I don't know if we're ready for another Dole up there mucking up the works. We just got rid of one that pretty much it was just a total idiocy to have him running, but that's what we settled with.
Yeah.
And of course it cost us the presidential election.
Don't hear much about Gore anymore neither. He's kind of in the back bush now.
Yeah, well, Gore is going to be running. He's out there campaigning in New Hampshire and Iowa and those places. He is the number one contender, and I saw some odds on who's going to win the nomination on the Democratic side, and Gore had the best odds of winning. I think Gebhardt came in second, and on the Republican side it was Bush, Quayle, Fred Thompson, and Forbes were the top. Oh, and Colin Powell. That was the top 4 or 5 on the Republican side. So Elizabeth Dole was just a couple %. So I think it's just wishful thinking on Bob Dole's part. He blew it so bad he's trying to do something, rejuvenate himself or whatever, but he just needs to retire and just say that he gave it his best shot and he's done.
Tell that previous caller to keep on making them peanut butter sandwiches because he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, he's down there in the dark and he's probably got a flashlight reading Zap comics from 1969 and listening to his two-way radio, and he probably comes out of his house about once every 6 months, and he thinks he knows it all. So thanks a lot, caller, and don't forget to call in next time. All right there, Freddie boys. So there you have it. County board is jacking up their budget sky high, even though welfare's coming down. We got rid of 2 programs that were bleeding red ink and costing the taxpayers all kinds of money. We're whittling away at the welfare program, and then the county board comes to the taxpayer and says, hey, we got rid of all that stuff, but now we want more than ever. We want more of your money than we ever have in the history of Eau Claire County. Now I ask you, taxpayers, are you willing to continue to pay for these idiots to do this, or are you willing to call them and say, hey, you guys are going to vote on this budget Wednesday night. How about paring it about 20%, cutting it back about 20%, and giving the taxpayer a much-deserved break? I mean, we've been in the trenches all these years paying for your frivolous, stupid, idiotic, harebrained ideas and scams. How about giving us a break for a couple of years? How about just all of you guys resigning and going home, coming back in about 5 years, and we'll give you about $2 million to play with, and if you can spend that properly, then we'll let you spend a little more. We'll let you spend 5% more every year after that. But until you guys can get your act together, you don't deserve to be raising any kind of budget. Right, Fred?
Yes.
Well, Fred pays taxes out the years, I'll tell you. He doesn't want to pay any more either. All right, Fred. What do you think about this HUD? Jack Kemp used to run it.
I know.
I think now Cisneros is running it, or he did run it till he got chased out of town.
Yeah.
I don't know who's running it now.
I don't think so much of it.
I think the new guy running it is Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, the son of the governor of New York, former governor of New York. HUD tenants may get the boot. Some Wisconsin landlords who operate federally subsidized housing threaten to pull out because of new government restrictions on how much rent they can charge. Local agencies are ready to help low-income tenants find alternative housing if landlords insist on higher rents, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development says. HUD Secretary Andrew Cuomo has announced that thousands of Section 8 properties nationwide, including dozens in Wisconsin and possibly some right here in Eau Claire, had rents out of whack with fair market rates. HUD on Friday identified 66 properties in Wisconsin where the rental rates exceeded standard market rent by more than 20%. I think there was some housing identified right here in Eau Claire that was just belligerently out of whack, Fred. They were charging the government outrageous sums of rent. And, of course, that needs to be stopped and cleaned up. And if it's a Democrat that's going to do it, good. I say good. Hello?
Yeah, Doc, I was just wondering, are you feeding for something? You seem kind of stressed out today.
Who?
You seem kind of stressed out today.
Well, it's probably that restaurant I went to where them idiots down there don't know they're supposed to read my mind on what I'm ordering.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't walk in a restaurant and just stand there and look the guy in the eye and let him read your mind on what you want, then where can you go to eat a good meal?
Yeah.
I don't know, Chuck.
Well, that's what I say.
Alrighty.
Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, Fred. Here's that one you wanted to read there about that. Of course, I don't know, you probably all seen the Clinton $3 bill that they just issued. And there it is right there. It's in that brand new bill that the federal government's issued. It has Clinton's picture on it. It's a $3 bill. They said the 1 and the 2 weren't good enough. We needed the $3 to make change. So they came out with a brand new $3 bill with President Clinton's picture on it. So I thought that was kind of nice too. All right. Hello?
Yeah, Chuck, how's it going?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you look a little stressed out. I was just wondering if you're the type of guy that will give a guy a reach around, or do you just take a drink?
Okay, there we have it. That must be one of them faggots down there at one of them faggot bars downtown, Freddie. I hear they closed down all the faggot bars, so he's probably wandering the streets, and he saw the show. He's probably looking in one of those...
They got one on Galloway Street.
Where?
Galloway Street.
Galloway?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's probably one of them faggots down there on Galloway Street. You know, some of them stores sell TVs where they have the TV show in the window and you can stand there. He's probably one of them faggots standing there watching the show. There was a payphone right next door there, and he ran over there and called. All right. Here you go, Fred. 10 Colombian nuns were stricken with severe food poisoning last week after eating duck meat pie. This is a true story. All right, Canadians worried. We don't want to read that one on the air. We got to watch our language on the air here. Okay, fire investigators on Maui have determined the cause of a blaze that destroyed a $127,000 home last month. A short in the homeowner's newly installed fire prevention alarm system. This is even worse than last year, said the distraught homeowner, when someone broke in and stole my new security system. So there you have it, Fred. All right. Now, Roy says we have a call, so I told you now, we take the 6th call. And so if you were number 8, you should be down to number 6 now. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air. You were number 8, weren't you?
Yeah, I was number 8.
All right. Okay. All right, Freddie.
He didn't talk.
Okay, what do you got there?
It says 25th Annual March for Life.
Now, where's that at? It's been 25 years already?
Mm-hmm.
Since the beginning of Roe versus Wade and the ushering in of abortion on demand?
It's going to be on the 24th.
It was must have been 1972 then. So 25 years, where are they going to meet?
I don't see.
All right.
It's going to be in March.
The 25th annual March for Life is going to be in March?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of catchy. March for the March of Life in March.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
How you doing tonight?
Okay.
Good. Hey, that animal on your head, you give good head.
Yeah, how long did it take you to come up with that one? Probably another guy sitting in his closet with his flashlight. He looks outside and says, "Is it sunny out today?" Somebody slaps him in the head and he jumps back inside and closes the closet door. Been doing that for 23 years. All right, and chicken magnet Frank Perdue's slogan, "It takes a tough man to make a tender chicken," got terribly mangled in another Spanish translation. A photo of Perdue with one of his birds appeared on billboards all over Mexico with a caption that explained, we can't read that one on the air. Okay, go ahead, caller. You're number 8.
All right, we've been watching this show for about a year now, and
What do you mean, we?
well, a couple of us. We want to know if we can see Roy. We have never seen Roy.
It's because we've been doing the show for 23 years and Roy's never been on.
Well, put him on. We want to see Roy. We've never seen your trusty sidekick.
There's my trusty sidekick over here.
Hey, why doesn't Fred ever get to run the show either?
He did once back in 1963 and he fell apart.
Yeah.
It was the day before the Kennedy assassination and he's been in a daze ever since.
What about the new setup on your show? When's it going back to the old one?
Well, we thought we'd try this motif where we can showcase Flavin' Pop and the new toothpaste there.
That's
And of course,
Chris toothpaste.
Fred's trying to be cute over there. Of course, he's been down there at the American Legion, no telling what he's been drinking down there. I'm sure it wasn't Flavin' Pop because there's only one place in the world that you can get it. Where is that, Fred?
I don't know. I don't think any place you can sell it anywhere.
Well, you want to sing the song before you go off the air?
Let's
Yeah.
see there. Which song?
The Flavin' Pop song.
Well, don't you guys know it? You've been watching the show for what now, 20, 25 years?
I wish I was watching it that long.
Don't you guys know the song?
Some of it, but I'm not going to sing it.
Well, why don't you get your buddies up to the phone there and you guys can sing it.
All right, we'll try it. All right. Ready? Go. Flavin' Pop, Flavin' Pop.
Don't drink,
We know.
don't drink slop.
Well, sing the rest of it.
Don't drink slop. Drink
Flavin'.
Flavin' Pop, the thinking man's drink.
Oh, yeah. What about the Common Man? What do you think about that guy the show before yours?
I think
Kinda weird.
Common's another one of them closet guys sitting there with a flashlight. He comes out about every 6 months to see if it's sunny outside.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. He's a weirdo.
I was on your show before. I was the imposter.
There, you hear
I
him?
was on the show with Fred.
What did he say?
He claims once that he came on while I was sick and did the show, and I got out of my deathbed at home and ran down here, and I kicked the living crap out of him and told him never to come on the show again. He was an imposter.
I was the imposter.
Do it one more time.
I was the imposter.
He was the imposter on the show.
Imposter, huh?
I took over a show one time with Fred.
Hey, him and Fred, they tied me up in the closet there, and I cut loose my ropes, and I got to a TV, and I saw what was going on, and I got off my deathbed and came down here, and I just kicked the living crap out of both of them.
Well, the next time you guys have that public auction, you guys need to put up some spots on your show so people can be special guests. Bid on them.
We did. We put up a T-shirt. It went for, what, 50, 75 bucks?
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, the Cow Report T-shirt there. So, yeah, we gave that, we put that up, and they had to stop the bidding. The phones were ringing off the hook, and I think they finally settled at something like 70, 75 bucks.
Hey, can Fred give us the time that he's down at the Legion? That way, hey, who's in the background there?
Fred who?
Fred. We want to know if when Fred's down at the Legion, that way we can have a few beers with him.
So on the second Monday.
Second Monday?
Yeah, once a year on the second Monday.
All right, we'll be down there.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for calling in. Don't forget to tell your friends and family and all that other stuff. All right there, Freddie boy. There's another bunch of fine, loyal viewers been watching the show all these years. And of course, Fred, we owe it all to Fred. If it wasn't for your foresight back there in 1932 in the jungles of Indochina, that was before it was even called Vietnam. If it wasn't for your hard work of lugging all them trees down to the airport, putting them on those old beat-up transports,
I wasn't
and
even.
flying them over the tire factory and dropping them onto the roof. And those things, once they hit the roof, those roots just dug right into that tar.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when he did that, that was the beginning of hydroponic farming. So not only did he create rubber trees, he also created hydroponic farming, because when it would rain, the water would get right in the roots there, and them rubber trees just grew to such heights that they had little hoses plugged right into the trunk of the rubber tree there, and that raw rubber would just drip down into the factory there, right into those molds, and they would make some of the finest Uniroyal tires in the world. All right there, Fred. What do you got next?
That's all.
Okay. A man in Amman, Jordan drowned last week after jumping into a well to retrieve his car keys. Realizing the man was in trouble, a companion jumped in after him to try and save him, followed by a third man, a fourth, and a fifth. Tragically, all 5 men perished in the accident. According to the official Petra news agency, a 6th man who jumped in to save the first 5 survived. Well, sure, he probably had something to stand on. That's why he survived, Fred. I wonder if they ever did find the keys. All right, so there you have it. That's kind of like throwing good money after bad. All right, Freddie boy. So what do you got there?
Well, the Tina Teens Don't Buy the Lie. That's the spotlight from the banner.
Okay, what did they do? When everything was said and done, what did they accomplish down there?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, a student in Bell, West Virginia was suspended for 3 days for giving a classmate a cough drop. School principal Forrest Mann restated the school's zero tolerance policy, not to be confused with the zero intelligence policy. So that poor kid had his, go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, Chuck, I was wondering why you're wearing those gloves. Did your palms a little chapped from last night?
Are you another one of them guys sitting there in the closet with your flashlight? I'll tell you, man, this must be flashlight night tonight. We're going to start having to sell flashlights down there at the Flavin Pop store down there at the corner of Menominee and Ferry Street down there. We've got 3 products down here now. All these years, all we had was Flavin Pop, but we put in some freezers down there, and now you can buy Flavin's pre-chewed frozen food. And of course, the latest addition, Flavin's chicken-flavored toothpaste. So we're glad that the product line is growing. And of course, in economic times like this, when the economy is expanding, you have to get new products out on the market there, and you gotta make the money. You gotta bale the hay while the sun's shining. That's all there is to it. And you gotta make the money when you can. You know what? Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, I hear you and Fred get together and make some.
I don't know, that faggot down there, he must have a payphone right by that pay TV down there.
Why'd you try to put them up for?
I don't know, he's got some kind of problem down there, Freddie. He can't read my mind when I go into the store to order food. You'd think as much as he's getting, I'm sure, I'm going to start bringing a calculator in there. I'll give you the calculator. All you got to do is read my mind, and I'll give you a calculator so you can add up the cost of the food. Because you guys have a tough time down there with numbers and math, like 2 and 3 and plus 6 equaling all the right amount. So there you have it. So, all right, Fred. Well, you know, how did you get down here tonight anyway?
Bill Stringer brought me.
You guys down there at the Legion getting liquored up or what?
No.
Well, you better say no, because Betty's watching. She already called here looking for you. All right. So don't forget to come down here now if you want to have a tour of the Cow Report International Studio, and if you want to meet Roy and Fred and Norbert and all the other staff, you can just call ahead, though. And you want to give them your number, Fred? If they want to call ahead before they come down for the tour?
No.
All right, well, we'll give them, we'll get some number for them. And, of course, Roy has been with us now all these years, and Roy's talking about moving on. He's talking about going and being the pyrotechnical engineer for the common man. And, of course, we can't have that, so we're going to have to see if Fred can give him a raise. Hello?
Chuck, you got to bring me up to speed. How come you're wearing the gloves? Where are Fred's reading glasses, and what's in the bottle in front of you? And the 5 fellows that drowned in the well all should have had spare keys for the car. I'll hang up and listen.
All right. And of course, this is Flavin Pop, and we don't know what's in it. They brought the formula over from the old country, and they started up on that hill up there on Birch Street up there. What's that hill called up on Birch Street, Fred?
Pine Hill?
Yeah, up that way up there somewhere on Birch Street.
Oh, that's,
Go ahead, you're the last call of the evening, number 13.
Yeah, I want to know what Fred's on.
He's on the Cow Report every other Monday night. at 9 p.m. On alternating Mondays, we're on at 2 p.m., except when there's 5 Mondays in the month. And we haven't quite figured that one out yet. Some programs are on every week, like on Friday nights. There's certain programs here on Public Access that are on every Friday night, week in and week out. We've been on for 20-some years, and we're on every other Monday at 9 p.m., then the other opposite Mondays at 2 p.m., except when there's a 5th Monday in the month, and then we're not on. So go figure. So we want to thank you for tuning into the program once again, and you're the last caller. Go ahead.
Hi, I was just wondering if you guys are in favor of spending money on anything. Seems like you're pretty negative, and I'm just wondering if you have anything that you're positive on at all.
I'm in favor of not spending 1 red cent for anything that's considered a tax dollar. I think they should abolish all taxes and abolish all the local governments, shut down all the public schools, go back to the private school system, and let people have all the money in their own pocket, and quit trying to make all these big mommy and daddies out there, like the school system and the county board and the city council. They're not our mommies and daddies. We already have mommies and daddies. Let us be able to take care of ourselves and spend our own money the way that we see fit. And with that, we have to say adios, amigos and amiguettes. We'll see you right here on the Old Cow Report next time.
What are you saying?
And thanks for showing up, Fred.